You're listening to The Swingdom, the champion podcast of the year. 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
I'm still mad about this.
It's okay.
7
It'll be all
o'clock
right.
in the morning.
So maybe you could just go and hit balls.
Well, that's the thing is, like, even if the course is open, the range will be shut.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to go there Friday night and like set something up for myself.
Yeah, like hide a bucket of balls somewhere.
Yeah.
Or steal it. Just put it in your car.
Yeah. Unlock the place myself at 6 o'clock in the morning, get a bucket of balls, warm up, drink a whole bunch of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, should I just cough in their backswings?
Yes.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You're listening to The Swingdom, the champion podcast of the year. 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to The Swingdom. I am Ben Ridner. I'm a 10.5 handicap. I play Cobra clubs. I've got some Clevelands thrown in there. I'm here with my best golfing buddy, Gunnar. He plays Titleist clubs, and he's a handicap of 8.2.
That's fair. I'll take it.
Is that all right? I put you up 2 points because you haven't played in such a long time.
That's right. Well, I played recently, but
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I got to watch golf this weekend.
I know, me too. It was so good.
I got to feel like not a liar and watch some golf.
Oh, man. How great was that?
I mean, I had to watch it on a teeny tiny screen, but it was still worth it.
Same. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
And plus we had like 2 watch parties, so that was great.
Yeah. We had a blast. We made $20 on Hot Mic.
Oh, no. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
supporting our
guys.
Hot Mic.
Yeah. If you haven't yet, download the app Hot Mic. Use the code word golf, and you can hang out with us while we respond to your messages on Hot Mic and have an absolute blast watching some golf.
It is a blast. We had a bunch of guests on yesterday too. Real quick, how much is the Hot Mic app? What does that set you back? $3-4?
No, it's free, isn't it?
It is free.
It's free.
Just download it. Sync it
Yep.
to your TV. Watch us. Hang out. It's a good time.
Have a good old time.
Plus, then you avoid like Brandel Chambly talking about golf. It's us.
Yeah.
We could be as
he's an angry
crotchety.
man.
Yeah, we could be as crotchety, but we are only crotchety about things that aren't golf related.
Yeah.
That may or may not come up.
The only
So
time
that's good.
I'm crotchety about golf related things is when I have to get up early in the morning.
You're just gonna have to do it.
I'd rather play golf in the pitch black with a light up golf ball at like 2 o'clock in the morning than be up at like, I've got to be up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock to like have a shower, drink some coffee, like get like oxygenate.
Get the blood pumping.
Yeah. So like, and then I've got to try to be civil.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to try to be like, oh, I'm new to the golf club. I'm going to be nice to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
When I really just want to be like, I hate you.
Yeah. I hear you.
To be fair, I'm not going to say I hate you. I'd say we could have been friends.
We could have been friends.
You could have made this so much easier on all of us, and we
That's
could have
right.
been friends. These guys are retired, so they're sort of like picking and choosing exactly when they want to play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got work to do. There's work. I've got to do podcast stuff. I've got to do YouTube stuff. Like 7 in the morning is rough.
It is tough.
All right. That's enough
all
about golf this week. I'll probably talk about that as my golf at the end of the show as well. You got anything in the news?
Yeah, we have a couple. First, I want to say that it's been a tough week across the U.S. and it's been a tough week globally.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to social and racial justice. And I thought I wanted to just make mention of Harold Varner III and Jay Monahan sitting down and on TV and just really having an all-out conversation about how golf can make a difference, how the history of golf isn't very spotless as it likes to pretend it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, most sports, right? I mean,
yeah, all sports, but golf, golf has definitely not been at the forefront of change in the
no.
past.
No.
And so Harold Varner III sat down with Jay Monahan, and they really hashed everything out. Harold Varner III really put his player reputation on the line for it, and everything went well. And then he ends up playing like a beast.
He shot lights out 3 days in a row.
He was so good.
Yeah, he had a hard time on Sunday.
Yeah, I think really the end result could have only been better if he had won.
So I don't want to.
That was good.
Too much into this, but I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, other than Tiger Woods,
yeah,
and Harold Varner III,
mm-hmm.
do you know any? And I'm not going to say people of color because I know there are plenty of Asian players and South American players and people with different skin tones. But do you know any African American descent golfers other than those two?
I was trying to find who to reach out to, which we did reach out to.
Yeah, no, I was just curious if you knew of any on the, specifically the PGA Tour.
Well, I do. The two that come to mind are Charlie Sifford and Lee Elder.
No. I mean, today.
No, not to.
Yeah. The point I'm trying to make is that this is a grassroots issue.
It is. Absolutely.
This isn't. I don't want to. If golf wants to make this right, which they very easily can do, they need to figure out how to get golf clubs into the hands of inner city kids of any race. Because you just don't see anybody coming from an urban background coming into the golf game.
Now, I will say, so Gavin, my son, plays on a tour through the PGA, a junior tour, and there is such a wide-ranging group of kids from all ethnicities and financial backgrounds, and
so it's moving there.
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially at the junior level. There are
I see it a lot at the collegiate level. I just don't see. I think the hardest part isn't getting kids started in it. I think there's this massive gap in what it. So if let's say you play baseball in college, right? When you get signed to an MLB team and you play in single A, you don't have to pay any money. You may not get paid a lot of money, but you don't.
Yeah, you don't pay to play.
No, where I think that's the biggest issue in golf right now is that if you want to go pro at any capacity, you need 25 to 40 grand to play on a junior tour.
It gets really expensive.
Yeah. So I mean, if the PGA really wants to help diversify itself, they've got to figure out a way to make it cheaper for the average top level golfer to have access.
Now, I will say there are waivers you can apply
get exemptions
for,
and things like that.
And actually our section, the Middle Atlantic section of the PGA, and they might have it in other sections. Obviously, I'm just more aware of this one.
Yeah.
But they have the PGA Reach program.
Yeah.
Which actually gears itself towards minority players, people in the game who are people who are interested in the game but really don't have the financial stability to be a part of it, but have a true interest. And it's an internship basically for younger players. It's really cool.
Do you know how much it costs to play in a PGA to play in a PGA level tournament for a player?
I want to say it's. Are you saying just the
just the sign up fee?
Isn't that $3,000?
No, it's $100.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, they kept it historically at $100. So if you're a PGA pro, you have your card. It costs you $100 to play in a PGA Tour event where you were eligible of winning over $7 million.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I got.
You knew that. I think you told me that. I'm not editing any of this out.
I asked you the question of how much, and you answered it, and then I disregarded your answer and went to the average cost of like airfare and fees, and I asked for clarification, and then I threw it out the window.
You did. You did.
On average, per tournament, it costs about $3,000 to play when you count airfare and
but if you're on the PGA tour, like your sponsors are paying those fees. Like that's your sponsorship deals are covering a lot of that.
Yeah.
Whereas
cost wise, that's what.
If you're playing in like the desert, like not the Desert Classic, the what's the one that's happening in Arizona right now?
I don't know.
Oh, it's like the mini tours. Like there's the Sunshine State mini tour, and then there's like the Cactus Tour. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So they get like 125 players in that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to sign up for the tournament is upwards of $2,500.
Mm.
And they're playing for like a purse of like 15 grand. So the winner walks away with like 3,000.
Yeah, you basically win to break even.
Yeah. So it's like, imagine at the AAA level, or imagine in college basketball or football, you had to pay for your own travel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How many undrafted NFL players like make it big?
Not a lot.
A decent amount. I mean, you hear about probably 5 or 6 of them a year.
You know, Philip Lindsay comes to mind.
Yeah.
From the Denver Broncos. Shout out.
Tom Brady was almost undrafted.
He was.
I think he probably had to pay the Patriots to take him.
I'll give you $5,000. Just say my name, please.
Yeah. I know, like I think Jeremy Lin of the New York Knicks, who now plays with the Raptors, who then played with the Spurs. I think he was undrafted. He played for Harvard. Like I think the thing is, it's not so much out of pocket in those leagues. Whereas, like, imagine to play in the G League, it cost you $1,000 a game.
A game, yeah.
Like, that would be tough. Yeah, they'd be sort of like, okay, we're like, not like the. Let me put it this way: the league would have a much different look.
There is a big difference between the pro level and the low pro level.
Yeah.
When it comes to cost, and it's unfortunate. And golf historically has that issue where it's expensive for equipment. It's expensive to play on a course.
If you're not sponsored, you're putting out like $3,000 for clubs.
Well, and especially if you like, we're lucky because we live in an area where there's like 8 golf courses, and 5 of them are reasonably priced.
Reasonably priced is still like $4,000 or $5,000 a year.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But like, let's say
we consider that reasonably priced. That's not
okay, right?
To be fair, it's still less expensive than health insurance.
But let's also say you live in an area where let's say you live near Pinehurst. That's not cheap.
No.
And those are all the golf courses. If your
closest course is like Creighton Farms,
right,
you're in trouble.
Or you happen to live near Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of money to just go and play every Sunday. If you
live on Pebble Beach, I hope you have that kind of money to belong to the golf course, because the houses ain't cheap.
But live near it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And I don't know the area, but but you know, some people who might be interested in golf say, "Oh, like $100 a round, I can't do that. I'm never getting into this." But
to be fair, like I have a hard time being like, "Ooh, $20 a round." Yeah. No, maybe not $20 a round. Ooh, $50 a round. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, $50. That gets tough.
Yeah. So, all right. That's. We would like to thank everybody for putting up with us through that interesting part of the news.
Make golf for everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
Make golf great for everyone again.
That's right. What else do we have? Camilo Villegas.
I was reading about this morning.
Yeah.
Golf is a good distraction, apparently.
It is. Shout out to him and
his family.
We wish him well. His daughter has brain and spine tumors.
She's apparently She's at the
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus Child Medical Facility in Miami, or Orlando,
All
which
the T's and P's for her.
which I think we all know that's one of the best child facilities in the
Yeah.
world. So
Yeah.
best of luck to them.
Yeah.
Can I get
Oh,
can I get fired up again?
you wanna get fired up for the end of the news?
Yeah.
All right. Quick shout out to Next Gen Golf for featuring us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
in their best golf entertainment podcast list.
That's news. We made their list.
Yeah, we made like a substantial list. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Next Gen Golf's really great. And they also sponsor this thing called City Tour. If you guys go and check them out, they run like a team tour in major cities across the United States. So anybody here in the US, go check them out. That's what I got.
Yeah, please. All right.
Yeah.
I'm getting fired up.
Go get fired up.
Brady Schnell.
He can't stay out of the news, can he?
He's to be fair, he didn't make the cut. He played at TPC, the Valley Course, in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. A few weeks ago, he made a big stink about Vijay Singh playing in the tournament. So Vijay Singh gracefully stepped away.
Yes.
Brady Schnell gracefully apologized. It was okay. Like I don't know that they made up. I said last week I would have loved to have seen Vijay Singh in it when you see the list of alternates.
Yeah.
So it looked like a fun tournament. But this is where I'm going to get fired up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brady Schnell misses the cut on the line.
Okay.
So talking smack to Vijay Singh, you got to back it up a little bit. You got to show up in like the top 10.
You got to make the cut at least.
Yes, you've got to make the cut. All right. Number 2.
Well, let me quick ask you this. If you don't make the cut, did you waste a spot for another up and coming player?
That Brady Schnell, that's for you.
Good job wasting a spot.
You tweet back at us.
Number 2.
The winner is Luke List.
Okay.
Long-time PGA Tour card holder.
Yep.
Right? He's won over 7 million on tour. He's never won on tour. But he's been in the top 25 since 2013. So he's kept his card for 7 years.
Yeah, good player.
Good player. And I hope that this sort of like he's going to Harbor Town because technically Colonial was an invitational, so he did not get invited.
Right.
So he's playing regular PGA Tour event, Harbor Town Links, Hilton Head Beach, South Carolina. Beautiful golf course, tight golf course. I always love Jim Furyk on this golf course, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Right.
Brady Schnell, where are you? Why aren't you dropping some turd bombs on Luke List? Why don't you get on your Twitter machine and make it rain?
Well, I mean, he had plenty of time. He didn't play golf all weekend.
Yeah, he's sitting around on Saturday and Sunday,
watching golf just like the rest of us.
Yeah,
man of the people.
No, I think yeah, I mean, let me put it this way. Over the last 7 years, Luke List has won over $7 million on tour. Yeah. You know what the winner's cut was yesterday?
What?
105,000.
Huh.
Like, you make that like coming in the top 20 at a PGA Tour event, which he's done.
Yeah.
So, Luke List, congratulations. Brady Schnell, either do it professionally and go after everybody or go away.
Yeah. You're just an internet troll at this point.
Yeah. And now that we know your name, it's never going away.
Yeah, we're never going to stop.
Nope. Brady Schnell. Brady the Smell Schnell.
I love it.
All right, you got any news?
I want to give a shout out to Ryan Koenigsberg of DNVR Bets who placed a line on the top 4 players he thought were going to make the top 20. And we joined in with this on social media.
How much money did we make?
We didn't make any money. As a
Oh,
matter
okay.
of fact, we went 0 for 4.
Well,
If you
I wasn't
remember-
consulted.
Oh, you were, because 2 of your picks are on here.
Oh, okay.
So I pit our 4 to make
Mhm.
just the top 20. All right. And we actually picked who we thought had the best chance to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we had Phil Mickelson, Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy, and Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
None of them even made. In fact, 2 of them missed the cut.
Rory shot +3 on Sunday, but we'll get
I
into
know.
that.
Nobody made top 20. Ryan
Oh.
Koenigsberg
Yeah.
picked Justin Thomas, Brooks Koepka, Ricky Fowler, and Tony Finau.
Finau was in there.
Justin Thomas was the only one of the 4 who made top 20.
Oh, can I give a shout out?
And so we ate our words.
We usually do that.
We ate our words this morning or last night on Twitter.
On Hot Mic, yeah.
No, on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
On Twitter and on Hot Mic.
We went to the big show and we we ate our words on that, and he was very gracious winner. So shout out to him.
All right, are you ready for this shout out? I'm
I
shouting
am.
out the 17th hole at Colonial. Destroying the hopes and dreams of not one player but 2.
Yeah. And basically anybody who tried to make a putt on 17.
Yeah, 18 was also brutal. We'll get into that. Is that it for the news?
That is it for the news. I love it.
All right, cool. You got to read?
Oh, yeah, kind of.
All right, you do the read this time.
All right.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
All right. Hey, Ben, are you still working out?
Yeah, I did 20 push-ups this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Are you kind of out of energy?
My shoulders are sore.
You know what would help you with that?
What?
Recovery products from FNX Fitness.
Interesting.
Yeah. Go to fnxfitness.com. Get on there. Search for recovery products, energy products, vitamins, supplements, sweet gear, and use promo code GOLF and get 15% off your entire order just for listening to this podcast. You get 15% off. Use the code. Anything over $99, any order, free shipping. It's great. Get
What's
on
the
there.
code?
GOLF, GOLF.
Golf.
You can tell I've been using it. I know you noticed my Instagram update. I'm getting strong, Ben.
You got it. Yeah.
I'm getting
And you
strong.
got a new hat.
And I have a hat, which just really ties it all together.
All right. Cool, man.
FNX
Thanks, Gunnar. FNX?
FNXfitness.com. Promo code GOLF, 15% off.
15% off. And free shipping over $100.
Over 99.
Over nine. Ooh.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
There was real golf yesterday and the day
Real
before
golf.
and the 2 days before that.
This is so exciting.
Yes. It's
4
very,
days.
very exciting.
Was this a 4-day tournament?
Yeah.
And
It
this
wasn't
is
a
our
one-day
first...
tournament.
No, it wasn't. This is our first full tournament that we've gotten to cover.
Yeah.
And what a tournament to cover for the first time.
Hold on. Speaking of one-day tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
I consider Hideki Matsuyama to be the defending champion at the Players next year.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right, enough of that.
It's never enough. Hideki Matsuyama is the Players champion.
Yeah. So they played in Fort Worth, Texas at Colonial.
Mm-hmm.
It was an empty course, no fans for another 4 weeks.
Right.
The player, I mean, that was probably the first question every reporter asked a player was, what was it like?
I got kind of tired of that.
Yeah. My favorite answer was Colin Marikawa, who basically was like, well, I played in college last year, so this is actually really normal.
Yeah, we didn't have any fans either.
And I was just like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I loved it.
Xander,
Unless you count family and friends as fans.
Yeah. Xander Schauffele said if there were fans on 17, he would have been way more mad than he already was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Just with the ooze.
So do you want to go through this day by day, or you just want to talk about it as a whole? How do you want to do this, since this is our first tournament?
So I have some I have kind of recaps, kind of what we learned, some hot takes for each day.
Yeah.
So we can definitely go day by day.
Cool. What'd you like on Thursday?
So on Thursday, my takeaways were Justin Rose was super dominant.
Yes.
Kevin Na, on the other hand, the defending champion, was not. He struggled bad and included a shank on number 7.
Like a legit shank?
Like a legit shank.
I did not see that.
With a 9-iron. And what was fantastic about it, it was really, he was trying to hit a little knockdown into the green, and he just said, hoselled it, and it was a legitimate shank. And nobody on the broadcast wanted to admit it was a shank.
So all of that time for Justin Rose on Thursday.
Yep.
How do you think Hanma feels about that?
Oh man. So Justin Rose made the right choice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good choice. The big standout was Bryson DeChambeau.
Yes.
He's a tank.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, he had I believe on the 3rd or 4th hole, off the tee with a driver, carries 330 with almost 200-mile-an-hour ball speed. It was, and this is the first time we've seen Bryson DeChambeau do anything since quarantine.
Yeah.
And he has obviously decided that the bigger he is, the farther he can hit the ball. And he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong at all. I saw a graphic this morning of the top 10 drives at Colonial. All of them were over 345 yards, and all of them were Bryson DeChambeau over the 4 days.
He's hitting bombs.
Yeah, he gets to the podium on Sunday, and he's like, if I hit more putts, I would have won by a lot. How does it make you feel to have somebody get on the podium and be like, yeah, I would have just won by a lot?
Yeah. I would have buried you all if my putter was working. That's incredible. Let's see. Phil falls apart at the end of his first round bogeys. 3 out of the final 7.
Ricky Fowler didn't make the cut.
Ricky Fowler was 3 over on round 1. But highlight for Ricky Fowler, he was introduced on the first tee by Shooter McGavin.
Yes. Yeah, that was cool to watch the introductions on the first tee.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that. Brooks Koepka did not shave his mustache.
He should have.
Nick Faldo called him Super Mario. And Spieth, Harold Varner III and Colin Morikawa showed up.
Yeah, they went live.
I thought Spieth was back on round 1. I mean, just absolutely back.
But that's Spieth in a nutshell over the last year and a half, is that he shows up on Thursday and Friday, and he's nowhere to be found on Saturday, Sunday. So this was a little bit different, because on Saturday he showed up, but on Sunday he did finish 1 over 71 and finished out of the top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, that was tough. But you know what I noticed day 1, and I text you this, was Spieth's putter has been his downfall the past couple of years.
Yeah. And
he figured it out over this quarantine because his putter was on fire. I realized over the course of the week he had a 3-putt from short range. But other than that, his touch was back. You felt like he was going to make it standing over the ball from any distance, or at least it had a shot. Yeah. And that was really good to see when Jordan Spieth's been struggling so much with the flat stick.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. It was nice to see a couple of those guys out there that like Harold Varner III. Like when I think about him, I think about him at Bethpage Black against Brooks Koepka final group. And he just so it was nice to see him back in contention on a Sunday. Like I said, I wish he did a bit better. It would have been a much better story, but to be the story 3 out of the 4 days isn't bad.
Well, Harold Varner shot bogey free in
Yeah.
round one
Mm-hmm.
and hit all 18 greens in
Yeah.
regulation. And that hasn't been done in this tournament since 2010.
Yeah.
So he really came out, I mean, just ready to play.
Can I just say one thing about the winner? Daniel Berger? Zero
Yes.
radar.
See,
He wasn't on anybody's radar.
He was not, no.
Like, he's good, and like I wasn't surprised that he won because he's been playing lights out golf for the last 6 months. But the other side of that is like I would have said, yeah, like he'll probably make the cut, but I didn't think he was going to be top 20 or top 10.
Oh, absolutely. There wasn't a player that I would have kicked out of the top, even like the top 15 and replaced with Daniel Berger. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just
because he wasn't even in the story on Saturday. Like he wasn't even in the story Sunday morning.
No, not at all.
No, it was Spieth. It was Varner the third.
Yeah.
It was Morikawa. It was like I was so excited to see the Rory Bryce. Well, let's not get it. I'm getting way ahead of myself. So Friday, what happened Friday?
Right.
Miscuts. Phil misses the cut.
So Friday, Phil misses the cut. Ricky can't put it together. Friday was the. I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. Friday is when the dreams of all the best players in the field were crushed. Really.
Yeah.
Friday is where we saw Colin Morikawa's iron play. I mean, just dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Rose barely hangs on. Yeah. Xander Schauffele does really well on Friday. And I would assume Daniel Berger's rise in the leaderboard happened. But again, he wasn't on the radar. So I didn't really pay attention to him. Friday was a weird day.
Yeah.
Nobody really did anything to help themselves except for like Jason Kokrak, Harold Varner III, Daniel Berger. They're really the only ones, Xander Schauffele, who helped themselves. Everybody else just floundered.
Yeah, I was going to say Friday there wasn't a whole lot to sort of discuss, and everybody was still discussing Bryson's seismic shift in size and ball movement. Everybody was basically saying, yeah, he's crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Saturday is when everybody started getting their stuff together.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a typical moving day. It was, you saw like the top 5 players kind of trickle away from the rest of the field.
Yeah.
But not out of range. You saw Jordan Spieth have a great day on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't. It was. I'm not going to say this wasn't like a typical golf tournament because it was, but just everybody's coming back. Moving day is supposed to be where everybody just throws balls in the hole, and scores a lot, and we didn't see that happen. And I'm going to equate that to no fans and no playing time for 3 months, and I was just back into it.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. I was like, Friday, you were so excited to see golf, you didn't really notice the rust.
Right.
Yeah. Then on Friday,
it almost came off like the course was difficult.
Yeah. Then on Friday, you saw the rust everywhere.
Yes.
And then on Sunday, you saw a few guys shine up a little bit, but really, there was still a bunch of rust out there. Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, Bryson, a bunch of rust.
Mm-hmm.
To watch the finishes, because this is, I mean, let's just get to Sunday then.
Mm-hmm.
You had I think you had 4 guys out of the top 5.
Yeah.
Miss a putt for birdie on 18.
Oh yeah.
Justin Rose misses a putt for birdie on 18.
Colin Morikawa misses a misses a birdie putt
Yeah,
on 18
to win outright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Berger hits his, but he's one of the only guys to hit it.
Yeah,
Trying to think
Xander Schauffele makes misses on 18, but on 16 and 17, he almost
No, it's 15, 6. So 15, he saves like a 30-foot bogey.
Oh, yeah.
Which is beautiful because that could have been a double bogey. He would have been out entirely. Then on 16, he birdies it. So he's back to 14
which
under.
was also a big putt.
Yeah. And then on 17, he's trying to save par so he can go into 18 and need the birdie to win and get the birdie to win.
Oh, yes.
And he just, you know what I mean? Like
it comes all the way back around.
Yeah, yeah. Right. It lips 360 degrees around. He lips it out. And it just looks like, for me, the rust isn't aiming with the putter.
Right.
For me, the rust is speed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, I mean, right? Daniel Berger hits his putt. He's the young gun he's the low score in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is chasing him. Colin Morikawa misses a 4-footer for birdie on 18.
Yep.
And then on the first hole of the playoff, he's got a 3-foot putt, and it looks like he's trying to hit it 10 feet.
He does, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a good miss.
Slingshots out. Yeah.
Yeah. He's further away on his second shot than he was on his first.
Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah.
I would hate to lose like that, to lip out, lose a golf tournament.
I wouldn't like winning like that.
I would, yeah, that too. I would like to just full miss it. Oh yeah.
I'd still take the check and the trophy, but I mean, if he's got to make a 15-foot par to save the hole, I feel better about that than him lipping out. But this is Daniel Berger's third win on the PGA Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Morikawa has won. He's already talking about dethroning Tiger Woods.
Oh.
So I think this is just a good lesson in humbleness and civility.
Yes. I will say Morikawa is the best iron player on tour right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But
no doubt about it.
I think you get these young guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the difference between Tiger and a lot of these guys is he won so much before his slump, before his injuries. Like Jordan Spieth won a bunch.
Yep. Well, we had the same conversation with Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got, he wins 4 majors.
Yeah.
He's only one shy of the Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
Or of the Slam, however you want to put it.
The Geordie Slam.
The
Spieth Slam.
Spieth Slam. But he's only one major away from that.
Yeah.
And he's been in a slump for 3 years. But there was that conversation like he could contend with Tiger if he keeps this up.
Well, they start doing the comparisons. I mean, it's like, at what age did Tiger win his first major? At what age did Tiger win his second major? Like they do all of that stuff that just you must have to live in an Amish bubble.
Oh yeah. Oh, you'd have to.
Honey, you are answering all phone calls. I'm never looking at the phone again. Like, I'm just going to play golf. You are going to arrange all of my play dates. I will see you later.
Right. It gets tough.
Yeah. But I mean, Daniel Berger coming back from a wrist injury. Yes. That he thought was going to derail his game entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Gets medical exemption and then wins this year. So he's got another 2 years on tour. I'm excited for that. Is he one of the spring break Beach Boys?
No. That's Spieth, Thomas, Smiley Kaufman, and Ricky Fowler.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah, Daniel Berger reminds me like he's kind of in that group, but not really.
Daniel Berger looks like he tends a farm when he's not playing golf.
All of them do. Like I said, Chesson Hadley looks like a pair of chopsticks with rubber bands for arms.
Yeah, but that's not wrong.
It's not. It doesn't look right.
He actually looks like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of guessing at Daniel Berger. Although
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say one of the things I noticed over the weekend, that's something I haven't really noticed before, is like, because there weren't fans, you saw a lot more players walking.
Yes.
And so, like, the different quote unquote swaggers that different players have, like, DJ's got like a slow loping swagger.
Dustin Johnson looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo when he walks.
Brooks has sort of like hey, you know which way the beach is, and then the locker room, and then the workout room. Like, can you point me in that direction? And then you've got Patrick Reed, who's just like, he walks around like he's like, am I supposed to be here? Did I steal something? Like,
yeah.
He's hopeless.
He played really well.
I like when he wins. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think he's a good, like, it's just, he's one of those players that, like, they should golf course only.
Yeah, Patrick Reed's interesting. And I like that you say that. He's a good champion. He is a good person to have hold the trophy. He is just so divisive. Yeah.
He's the villain.
He is the villain.
Like, for a while, it was like Tiger and Phil. Like, Phil was the villain. Tiger was going for all these records, and Phil was going to be the one to take them away. And now you've got Patrick Reed and the field.
Yeah. So you know,
Sorry, hold on. You've got Patrick Reed, Brady Schnell, and the field.
That's right. Brady Schnell is now Patrick Reed. Sergio Garcia too.
Yes. No, yeah, for sure.
So since I'm obligated to make a Space Jam reference in every episode, this is like watching the big match between the Toon Squad and the Monstars, and you were still down with the Monstars slamming down the dunks. You were still like, that's really cool seeing these giant monsters. I mean, just throwing down jams.
Yeah. So
you weren't rooting for them.
No.
You just were like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Because you wanted like Patrick Ewing and Muggsy Bogues to like get their talents back.
That's right.
Not that they were ever going to win with those talents, but you just felt bad that like they weren't going to win and they didn't have any talents.
Right. You weren't it was
Chris
still
Mullin?
cool to
Is
see.
it Chris Mullin?
Chris Mullin, I believe.
Larry Johnson?
But you weren't rooting for him, but you still enjoyed seeing it happen.
So,
that's Patrick Reed. He's a monster.
I was talking to JR this week about last week's episode, and he was like,
friend of the
show, friend of the pod.
That's right.
Sponsor of the pod.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, so we were talking about Sergio Garcia and Tiger Woods, and I was saying, you can't tell the Sergio Garcia, like, you can't tell the Tiger Woods story without Sergio Garcia.
That's true.
And my dad was just sorry, not my dad, JR.
Edit.
He was just like, no, you can definitely tell you can definitely tell the Tiger Woods story without Sergio Garcia. And I was just like, and tell me if you agree with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Woods is to Michael Jordan as Reggie Miller is to Philip Mickelson. Phil Mickelson.
His name is probably Philip, so that's fair.
Don't tell him I said
that. I totally agree. Now, where I'm with JR in this, and I've said this before, that you can still get to the same conclusion on Tiger Woods without Sergio Garcia. But Sergio Garcia is such an anti-hero in this discussion. And Phil Mickelson is such an anti-hero in the discussion of Tiger Woods.
Yeah,
you need them.
Okay. Would you say then that so I put this in the sort of the next perspective, which is Sergio Garcia is then sort of like akin to Patrick Ewing. Like, rivalry, can tell the story with or without. Mostly, like, the story becomes that much richer when you talk about the Bulls and the New York Knicks.
Right.
But to be fair, like, Michael Jordan had so much more of an impact on Patrick Ewing than Patrick Ewing would ever have on Michael Jordan, than Sergio would ever have on Tiger Woods.
Yes.
Like, you can't tell the Sergio Garcia story without Tiger Woods 1,000,000%.
So I agree with that.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna make Sergio Garcia Patrick Ewing, we have to make Phil Mickelson Dennis Rodman. Is that
No,
fair?
he's Reggie Miller.
No, I'm saying the. Yeah, okay.
They're not on the same team.
Yeah.
Like, Reggie Miller got so close so many times and is still one, like, maybe top 3, like, shooting guards of all time. But he never got a championship because every time he got close, Michael Jordan was just was like, I'm in the way.
I see. I'm just saying in terms of storytelling,
Yeah.
to have the most effective comparison. I'm losing my words. Edit that
No,
out.
because the Pippen character is going to be Stevie Williams.
Okay.
The dad's characters are going to be very similar.
All right.
The Rodman character is going to be Tiger's alter ego that got him in trouble in 2008.
Sure. You put more thought. I'm thinking on the spot. I
put a lot of thought.
You put actual thought into this.
Well,
all right. Well, disregard everything I've said, and you continue.
Well, no, it's just basically because I watched the Slam and then I watched the Michael Jordan one, and I was just sort of like, I was thinking in my head creatively, if Tiger Woods was to make this exact documentary, this is the story. Him and his dad have a similar thing. Like, the guy who lifts him up but never lifts him up enough, like, who lifts him up but then sort of takes it away at the end, is going to be Stevie Williams, who says, sorry, I don't want to be on your bag anymore. Like, let's split amicably, and then I'm not going to be so nice about it.
Right.
Like, you've got the Butch Harmon. I mean, Butch Harmon is Phil
Jackson.
Phil Jackson. Thank you. Sorry, brain went. So it's going to be a very, very similar, it's going to be, Tiger Woods goes and meets with Nike and they make the Tiger Woods brand.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sort of dumbed down on the personal stuff because Tiger Woods doesn't want a documentary about his personal life.
See, I watched those two, and we got to end this tangent. But I watched the two things not in a character comparison, but more in a feature comparison. I was kind of more in a storytelling way.
I was totally engrossed and enjoyed it that way, The Last Dance that way.
Right.
But I did feel like there was this massive void in, like, if you're this competitive on the basketball court, what's going on at home? Like, how is home affecting the game? How is the game affecting home? Like, if you're going to call this the end-all be-all Michael Jordan documentary, like, there has to be some personal ties to it.
Yeah.
Like, his best friend is his driver.
Yeah.
George, what's his name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, his name is George something, but, like, he's like, oh, yeah, he picked me up from the airport once, and now we're best friends forever. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's great. Okay, sorry, tangent over.
Yeah.
So where were we?
Well, let me run through these stats that I found, because this kind of actually.
Are we back to Colonial?
We are back to Colonial.
Okay.
Let me run down these stats of the top 5. I'm going to go in order from winner to final, tied for third.
Yep.
There's 6 of them because there's a 4-way tie for third.
Yeah.
And this actually caused my would you rather. So Daniel Berger, 306 driving average, is now, after the tournament, 11th in FedEx Cup, jumped 34 spots and 31st in the world. Murakawa, excuse me, 296 driving accuracy. We know he's a great iron player, so a little low. He's 18th in FedEx Cup, jumped 23rd. or 23 spots and is now 27th in the world. Kokrak 311 driving. He jumps 47 spots in a FedEx Cup.
Yeah.
DeChambeau through 4 days still averaged 340 driving yards.
It hurts my soul.
Yeah, 13th in
I couldn't
FedEx
shoot it
Cup.
out of a gun that far.
No, absolutely. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
He's 13th in FedEx Cup and 12th in the world. Justin Rose, I guess this is his first tournament.
Yeah, it is.
For the PGA Tour this year.
Yeah, for the 1920 season, yeah.
Yeah, he averages 298. Now he's 123rd in FedEx Cup points.
Yeah.
But jumps 82 spots.
That's nice.
And is 14th in the world. And Xander Schauffele breaks into the top 10 in the world.
Yeah.
He also breaks in the top 10 in FedEx Cup points and has just under 310 driving yards.
Yeah.
These are all over the place, and they come in 1 through 3, or 1 through 3, but 1 through 6 in the tournament.
So,
it shows that you don't have to, that bomb and gouge and accuracy can still have the same effect. You just have to play your game.
Yeah.
That's what it said to me.
Yeah. You can bomb and gouge it, but if you're not hitting putts, like, you're still going to get beat by Jordan Spieth. So the 3 big stories for me this week. Sung J M, still number 1 in FedEx Cup points.
Yep.
I like him a lot. I like Big Hero M. Big Hero Sung
Big
J.
Hero M. He does look like Big Hero 6. I agree.
Number 2. Rory falls off on day 4 harder than Spieth does.
Well, see, that was my prediction for Rory McIlroy, was he wasn't going to have a good weekend.
Yeah. Because Saturday, I mean, even hole 1, he, bogeys hole 1 and nearly hits it off the fence almost out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then number 3, Gunnar.
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus is the most underrated player in PGA Tour history.
I got a note from someone about this.
JR called me a genius. That's the first. I've known him 33 years, and that's the first time he's ever said that to me.
He's lying to you.
I mean, he still hasn't said, "I'm proud."
I got a note. I got a note about this.
Yeah.
That you keep making this statement, but they don't think that you have the goods to back it up. So this has to be.
We've got to do a mini-sode.
A mini-sode. Because I steadfastly disagree, and I think so does the rest of the world.
Okay.
You're the only one with this take, which makes me happy. I like that you have this take.
So then
I just don't agree with it.
Let me rephrase this then.
Yes.
Okay. Jack Nicklaus is far greater than Tiger Woods.
Okay.
That's when I'm saying he's like, by people even considering Tiger Woods to be better than Jack Nicklaus.
That's why you're calling him underrated?
That's why I'm calling him underrated.
All right.
Because when you look at Jack Nicklaus's stats, and not just like the championships, the number of times he's won, if you look at the amount of times he's won on tour consecutively,
yes.
I'm not getting into this. Mini-sode.
Next week, we're going to do this.
It's debate season.
It is debate season. We're going to do this. I'm not messing around with this.
Yeah. So that's
all right.
So I'm not saying he's like underrated, like he's in the top 10 and he should be in the top 3. I'm saying people need to give him a lot more credit. People give Tiger Woods a lot more credit than there's a disparity between how much credit Jack and Tiger get.
Yes, I agree with that.
So you can do the eye test and I'll be the numbers cruncher.
Okay. I like that. Next week.
Yeah.
Next week we'll argue. I like that.
After the 19th.
After the 19th, we'll argue. I love it. Yep. All right. We should do a read.
All right. Should we do the bell tone read?
We probably should because
Yeah.
they're such great supporters of our podcast.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
Hey, Gunnar.
Yep.
Gunnar.
Hold on. This is more visual than anything, but I can't really hear you.
Do you think you might have a hearing problem?
I probably do.
Do the wife and kids yell at you constantly?
I hear them as small rumbles, but I think they look like they're yelling.
Have you heard of a small, quaint place called New Jersey?
Well, I haven't heard of much because of my hearing issues, but yes, I know New Jersey.
Well, if you live on the North American continent,
yes, as I do,
and have any sort of transportation, including your legs,
well, probably on the eastern coast of the North American continent.
Yeah, or anywhere. Yeah.
We have planes.
You should head on down to Belltone Hearing Aids, Jersey Shore Hearing Aid Centers, owned and operated by Joseph Ridner, a wonderful sponsor of the Swingdom podcast.
That's right.
Did I tell you he gives hearing tests? Did you know how much they cost?
How much?
They cost $0.
What?
Did I tell you about all the fascinating technology inside of hearing aids?
No, tell me about it.
You have windows on your car, right?
I do have windows.
If you lower the windows on your car with one of these hearing aids in, it will automatically turn down the wind noise in your hearing aid so you can hear people around you better.
Nice.
Yeah, you can connect your hearing aid to your Bluetooth phone. So you're not going to need any of those wireless white earbuds. You just have hearing aids.
I like them. But that's nice.
You're going to like your hearing aids better.
Yeah, because then I could actually hear on top of listening to my phone.
Yes. If any of this sounds appealing to you, you should head to Belltone Hearing Aid Centers, Jersey Shore Hearing Aid offices. They're in Freehold. They're in Ocean Township. They're in Hazlitt. They're in other places along the Jersey Shore. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
One. Again, free hearing test. Tell them we sent you. The code word is golf.
Yeah, or just say this. You heard about them on the Swingdom podcast.
Yeah,
and
because every time you use Belltone Hearing Aid Centers, they give a little bit back to us, and that makes a big difference.
Yep. So call 732-888-9000 and schedule your free hearing test.
And if you don't get a hold of him that way, here's his cell phone number.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
I'm sorry I laughed through the re-intro, but that was funny.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, all right. Would you rather?
Would you rather? You ready?
Not really. Let's do yours first.
Fine.
I'm ready. I feel like let's do yours first, and then I'll get into my troubles.
All right. We'll just do one would you rather then.
Yeah.
All right. So here, would you rather, and like I said, this is based off those stats that I put together, the huge differences in driving distances, plus the differences in accuracy. Would you rather always hit the long ball? Okay. Would you rather always be really long with your swings, or would you rather be accurate? Hit bombs or hit darts?
So this is, I need numbers. I need like a percentage. Because I was going to do something similar. And
okay, here you go.
Let's just say 340.
Whatever this would have to be per person. So let's say you get you still hit it as accurately as you do now, but you hit, misses, some left, some right.
Yeah.
But you have a 30% increase in distance with every club.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have a 15% decrease in distance, but everything goes dead straight.
The second one.
Dead straight?
Yeah,
All right.
that would change my game entirely. If I knew I was hitting a 6-iron dead straight, even though it was going to roll out of the back of the green, I would take a 15% discount on that guy.
So you would rather be Justin Rose or Colin Morikawa than Bryson DeChambeau?
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
I really do.
Mine was going to be very similar. Mine was going to sort of be, sorry, you finish up.
Well, what I was going to say is I love the bombs. I really do. I love when guys get up there, tee it high, let it fly, hit dingers, all that jazz. It's really something special in golf to see a pure iron player.
Yeah.
And I've always enjoyed that part. Now I
Yeah.
like to hit driver, but if I had all my irons just dialed in all the time,
Yeah.
oh man, that would be such a sweet feeling.
Like, this is going to sound a bit like, but like, to me, like, a long driver is a bit like a graffiti artist.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. And like an iron player is a bit more like a practice classical fine artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing wrong with sort of like, actually, I wouldn't say fine artists. I would say, but sort of like they paint within the realms of canvas and things like that.
Yes.
Like, they sort of know what their tools are. They know where they're playing the game inside of. And I feel like the bomb and gouge guys are just sort of like, let's spray this everywhere. I'm going to put some color here. I'm going to put some, when I look back at the bigger picture, it's all going to come together. But right there in that moment, like, it can all sort of go a bit wrong.
Right.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, go for it.
Would you rather drive the ball 340 yards and not make a single putt outside of 10 feet? Or would you rather drive it 280 yards and make every putt from inside 20 feet?
So 340 yards and never make
I
a
feel like I
putt.
need a whiteboard.
I'm
outside of
writing
10
on a
feet.
outside of 10. I'm using a piece of paper. Or 280 and make everything inside 20.
Yeah.
280, everything inside 20.
Yeah.
Hands down.
That
Yeah.
extra 10 feet of putting is...
Yeah.
Like, for me was a big thinker, because I was sort of like, okay, if I drive it 340, and it's a 400 yard, I've got like, what are the odds of me getting it inside 10 feet from 60 yards?
Right.
And then I'm sitting there going, okay, what are the odds of me getting it inside 20 feet from 120 yards?
No, so that's actually how, well, you and I have a pretty similar game. We don't have a problem hitting greens as long as we're not trying to go to the pin.
Yeah.
If we're not trying to find a zone on the green, we can hit greens.
Yeah.
We only ever get in trouble when we try to get it too close. Sometimes we get lucky. I'd say a lot of times we get lucky, but if we just hit for the, and you're a big proponent of just hit it to the center of the green, there's a good chance that the pin's within 20 feet of the center of the green.
I only go for the pins if I'm inside 100 feet. If I'm sand, wedge, or less, so 105 yards, not feet, yards, sorry about that. If I'm inside sort of like 110 yards, I'm going for the flag.
Right. Other than that, you're going for the center. See,
I would say gap wedge and pitching wedge, I might be going for like quadrants. But I'm still happy on the green. And anything over that, I'm just sort of like on the green.
Yeah. See, I have a bad problem. I go for the pin location inside of inside of 170 is kind of my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not like...
No, but I do fall into trouble sometimes.
I just need to get much better at putting.
Absolutely.
So, all right, what are you doing in golf this week, man?
Well, I am playing Father's Day weekend is coming up. And so being a father of two wonderful children, we're going to play golf both days.
Oh, wow.
I'm really excited. Yeah.
Is that your Mother's Day gift?
Yeah. No,
Just want to let you know his Mother's Day gift is that on Mother's Day, she lets him play golf on Father's Day.
that's right. That's exactly it. So, on Saturday, gonna go out and play. Whoever wants to come can come. Sunday is my son and I, we go out and play. If you want to come play, that's fine. But Saturday, no kids. Sunday, kids. That's what we're doing.
That's the
One
way
more
to
time.
do it.
Yeah, it is the way to do it. Yeah, really excited about it. And my wife and I went out to the driving range, and she even hit balls.
That's really cool. Yeah, you look buff in that picture. You don't look very buff now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Anytime.
No. That's because I hide the guns with these sleeves with my jacket, so nobody gets intimidated.
Yep. That's great. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. What are you doing in golf?
I'm going video crazy, man. The YouTube is going bonkers. I'm having so much fun shooting videos. I've got probably another 5 videos coming out this week.
Dang.
I'm going to try to have like 100 videos before the end of August. So if anybody out there knows anybody who is not subscribed to the YouTube channel, it's The Swingdom. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to us. It is probably the second biggest help to us, third biggest help, other than telling your friends to listen and reviewing us on Apple iTunes.
And if you guys want to see more of our content, go check us out on Instagram at The Swingdom. Check us out on Twitter at The Swingdom.
Yep.
Check us out on Facebook. Definitely get on the YouTube.
Yeah.
It is just going bonkers. Thank you, everybody, for the support on that. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review us.
Yeah.
We so would appreciate it. We have gotten a bunch of support on Apple Podcasts recently, and we're making big jumps in the charts out of nowhere. So everybody who's gotten in on that, we really appreciate it. You guys are the best, and this is super fun. We love it.
We love it. Thank you guys again. We'll catch you either midweek or next week. We'll see what's going on with this Jack Nicklaus underrated Player of the Lifetime award.
That's right. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, Gunnar, I'll talk to you later.
All right, Ben.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
That was the wrong one. Are you ready for the right one?
I'm ready for the right one.
Okay.
You listen to The Swingdom. Remember, we're just 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given.